minds like us, growing in years, with a goal to make a change of the world around your race. They've been able to set the pace.
Hello and welcome to your favorite program, Youth Engage. In this episode, we shall be profiling a woman with sets of celebrated firsts. We present to you the first female president of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA. She has made valuable contributions to the National Council of Women's Society, where she is a member. She was born to the late Akija of Akija Ijebu, Oba Alademeri in Ogun State, Oba Luke Ademola Adekogbe, and mother, late Mrs. Elizabeth Adekogbe in the 40s. And worthy of note is that both her parents were teachers. The young lady of many firsts attended secondary school in Ibadan and later studied at what was known as Yaba Higher College in those days. She then travelled abroad to study law at the University of London. She returned to Nigeria and since 1970, she has been a practicing lawyer as the head of Priscilla O Kuye Chambers, a profession she has made good success at by becoming the first female MBA chairman in Nigeria. This feat remained unrivaled till date, just as many of her testimonial court cases. She became the first regional vice president of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, for Africa in Nigeria between 1979 and 1981. On the international scene, where she is a member of the International Bar Association in 1993, she was elected vice president of the Commonwealth Lawyers Association. She is the General Secretary of the Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce and a member of the Confraternity of Christian Mothers. A devout Catholic woman, she is the president of the Archdiocesan Laity Council, Lagos, and for over 10 years been representing Nigeria as member Pontifical Council for the Laity in Rome, and most interestingly, been married for over 50 years to a devout Muslim, late Chief Omowale Kuye. Welcome to the world of a reputable justice administrator, wife, mother, and a true role model. A woman born by two teachers, but grown up to raise a family of lawyers. We present Dame Priscilla Kuye. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Ma, how do you combine being a lawyer and an housewife?
Well, it can be difficult, but then you just have to prioritize. You must not let your home suffer because it's very important. Your husband and children must not suffer. Your work too must not suffer. So what I did in my earlier days, when I was practicing I'm still practicing as a lawyer. I gave up many parties to stay at home with my children and my family, especially during the weekends. And I didn't go to all the parties. I just picked a few of the parties so that I could be at home with my family. So you see, it's very important that you have to allot your time judiciously. Your work must not suffer, but I always put my family first. It's very, very important. The husband and your children, they have to come first. Do your best to have a good home because it is important to have a good home. If you don't have a good home, you cannot do many of these things because you must have stability in your life. If you don't have stability in your life, well, it will be difficult to achieve so many things. And one other important thing, one has to be God-centered. You must put God first in all you do. Put God first. Work hard and pray hard. And ask God to bless your efforts. And He always does if you have faith in Him. So that's what I've done all my own life. I work hard and I pray hard. It's very, very important.
Ma, did you influence your children to become lawyers like you?
No, I did not. In fact, my daughter, she said she would never be a lawyer. She studied economics, She studied economics first. Then when she came home and found that the remaining members of the family are lawyers, put on my wig and gown, went to court. Chief Kuye, my husband, Otun Olubadan, the late Otun Olubadan, is a lawyer. So she decided to go to the University of Lagos to study law all by herself. Nobody influenced her. As for our son, he decided he was going to read law. Nobody, it's not good to influence children. I think it's best to let them, they know their talents, but I mean, the parents can help them, you know, to really choose their career somehow. Because you live in the same house, they know what the talents the children have, but it's not good to force a child. You say, you must be a doctor, you must be a lawyer. I don't think it's good. Like some young children that wanted to be singers and artists, and their parents told them no, they will never allow them to be singers and artists, but then they were successful. You know, the children defy the parents and they are successful people. I was reading it in some of the magazines. So you have to encourage your child. As long as what that child is doing is legal, it's not illegal, you should encourage your child to utilize his or her talents. Very, very important. What would make the child happy is what the parents should be after. So we didn't force any of our children to be lawyers, but they are all lawyers. We are all lawyers in our family.
Ma, you're a Christian.
Yes.
And you're involved in some religious activities like some posts. How have you been able to combine your being a Christian, your religious activities with your professional life?
Well, it's, you know the 10 Commandments in Exodus. You have to love God and love your neighbor. I know as a lawyer, they can bring you some cases, maybe criminal cases in which maybe it's a murder case or something like that. And you have to use your professional ability to judge and do handle the case professionally. You understand? But the laws of God, I know all the commandments. Don't steal, don't covet your neighbor, and all these other things. Thou shalt not commit adultery, and all these other things. But the main thing, love God with your whole heart, your whole mind, and your whole soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. That is the whole essence. So when you are handling a case, you have to do it professionally, in accordance with the facts of the case, and your conscience will be at peace. That's what I've done all my life, because I've been about 50 years at the bar. Whatever I do, my conscience must be at peace. You know, some people come to me, if they have bad cases, I tell them, look, I think this is a bad case. Some other lawyers may not do so, but if you come to me, you tell me the facts, this case is not good, this case is good. You have to be truthful as a lawyer, professionally. You understand? So you can do your work with the fear of God, as if God is sitting down looking at you. So there is no conflict at all. Because once your conscience is at peace and you feel, how I'm handling this case, I'm not offending against God's commandments, and I'm doing it with the love of my neighbor. So I have not experienced any conflict.
Thank you, Ma. Ma, you were married to, your husband was a Muslim. Now, you being a Christian, how were you able to cope being married to a person from the other religion? And even after his passing, how has it been like?
Well, in my husband's family, you have Christians and Muslims. In fact, my husband's mother was Iya Ajo of Salvation Army in Akwatere, and the father was Baba Ijo of Salvation Army in Akwatere. My husband was a Christian before he converted to the Muslim religion. So he knows the Bible in and out. So, but one thing in marriage, you have love, you have respect for each other, respect for your views. If you have respect, my husband respected my religion and I respected his own religion. You know, when he's fasting, I prepare his meals for him. If we are doing harvest in our church, my husband will follow me to the church harvest. I mean, many of the Catholic priests know my husband. They know him in my parish. They know him, he supports the church. And I support him. You see, we were married for 54 years, and I was his only wife. You know, they say Muslims marry 4 women, but I was his only wife. So you love each other, you have respect for each other, respect for your views. I have respect for his religion, he had respect for my religion. So I don't think, but I mean, I don't think, not everybody will be able to fit in that, because even during our marriage, some of his friends used to come to the house. Why don't you convert your wife to, why is your wife not a Muslim? After all, you're a Muslim. And I will just smile, I won't say anything, you know. But they don't know. I'm from a strong Catholic church. My grandfather started a Catholic church in Ijebu. On my mother's side, we are strong Catholics. Nobody can change my religion. There's no way I can ever stop being a Christian. It is not possible. I was raised as a Christian. Right, my grandparents were strong Catholics. So it is not possible. So my husband became a Muslim. He was a Christian before. What can I do? There's nothing I can do. In the Catholic religion, marriage is for life. You know, we don't divorce in the Catholic religion. It's a permanent thing. So, you know, it's love, respect. That's what I think kept our marriage. Understanding each other, supporting each other. So we had no problem at all, you know, where religion is concerned. But as I said, not every couple can do it. But it depends on the two people. Some people cannot make it. But we were married for 54 years, you know. So it's the grace of God. He follows me to the church. When we are doing harvest, when they are doing anything, they will invite him, he will come. When he is doing something, when he's fasting, as I say, I prepare his meals. And they are doing wedding. What do they call this wedding? There's a word for the Muslim wedding. Nikai with the wedding. I follow him, you know, his friends when they are doing it. We respect each other. We respect our views, our opinions. And, you know, as a husband, my husband really allowed me to develop myself individually. He was a good man. He encouraged me in everything I did. He encouraged me in everything. He said, look, all your potentialities, you must realize all your potentialities. But many men are not like that. Some men are even jealous of their wives. Even though the wife is bearing their name, you know. They don't want their wife to become anything in society. But my husband encouraged me in everything I do. God rest his soul. He encouraged me in everything that I did. He was a good man, a good husband. So that is it. So I hope you will meet men like that. Men who will respect you and love you and make sure that they want you to develop yourself as an individual and all your potentialities. Use all the talents that God has given you to become a good citizen, help your family, help the society. Because I'm grateful for what he supported me, you know, to be a president of the NBA. He supported me in so many things, my husband, you know. My church activities, I used to attend so many meetings, even the Laity Council. I traveled around, I was president of the Laity Council in Lagos Archdiocese, you know, in the church. I traveled all over Nigeria, and my husband supported me. So many things. Even when I was on the Pontifical Council for the Laity in Rome. Sometimes we go to Rome together, you know. I met many of the popes because the Pontifical Council for the Laity in Rome is the highest body for the Laity Council is in Rome. And I don't know how God chose me for that again. As a woman, I was the first woman to be on the Pontifical Council for the Laity in Rome. I was representing Nigeria because I was president of the Diocesan Laity Council in Lagos. But again, it was God who sent me there. Well, my husband supported me in all these things, even though he was not a practicing Christian. He was a Christian but turned Muslim. He supported me. And that's what it should be. As husbands should support their wives, whatever they do. The wives too should support their husband, 100%, so that they have a fulfilling marriage. It's very important. I've had a fulfilled marriage, and I miss my husband a lot. I miss him after 54 years. I miss him a lot, you know. He used to give me good advice as well. So I hope you girls, you will get good husbands. But you pray. You get a good wife. You get that wife. You pray. Just say, God, send me my partner. And he will. He will.
In light of everything, so what's your advice for the youths?
For the youths, aim high. Aim for the very best. And wherever you are, try and see whether you can improve that place. You know? Try and see whether you can improve where you are. Let the sky, let nothing be impossible for you to do. You have your, whatever you want to achieve, your plans, whatever you want to achieve in life, work hard towards that aim and objective. Let nothing stop you from getting there. You work hard, pray hard. Don't forget the prayer. The prayer is very important. Very important for anything. Before I do anything, I always ask God, Father, I want to do this. Do you think this plan is good for me? And you know, God answers you. If you have a deep relationship with God, inside you, He will answer you. Sometimes you may dream. Sometimes you may open the Bible and the Lord will talk to you. You know, but these are growth in spirituality. You have to grow up in spirituality. You understand? And it's only by prayer that you can have a deep relationship with God. I'm a charismatic. I'm not ashamed to say it. In my church, I'm a charismatic. We believe in the power of the Holy Spirit. So every day, we have to pray to the Holy Spirit to empower us and to use His light to let us go in the right direction. I'm a charismatic. So, be God-centered. If you are God-centered and you work hard, nothing will be impossible for you to do. Nothing. You will have your trials. So I don't say you won't have trials. So you have your trials. Like now I'm a widow. It's a trial for me. When my husband is just to very near Olubadan, to be Otun Olubadan, the next post is only Olubadan. And God took him away. But God knows why He took him away. So I have my own trials. But you see, because I've surrendered myself to God now. Surrender yourself to God and let God lead you. And you'll find that He always leads you aright. But for the young lawyers now, I would advise them, a lawyer that has qualified freshly should make sure that he or she attaches herself to one chamber to gain experience, you know, for about 2 or 3 years, so that you learn what the legal profession is all about. There are some lawyers that just immediately they are called to bar, they go and start to practice. I was with lawyer Buck and Co. When I finished in 1967. I stayed there till 1970 before I set up my own practice. He was a West Indian lawyer. So, and I learned the ropes about the legal profession. It's gone. It's no longer in Nigeria. He has retired. And I learned a lot from that chambers for 3 years. I set up my own practice in 1970, and I've been practicing since then. So a young lawyer would make sure that they go to somebody's chambers, learn the ropes of legal profession, and then you start your own. And then you must make sure that you work hard. Prepare your cases for court. And if you are doing commercial practice, make sure you draft all your documents. You are finicky about everything. And you know, make sure that you follow the etiquette of the bar. Truthfulness, very, very important. Hard work, and we have ethics at the bar. Follow those ethics at the bar. And make sure that you do your best for your client. Do your best, your legal best for your client. But hard work never kills anybody. Take your vacation every year, your 1 month vacation or whatever it is. I don't play with my holiday. I take my vacation, you know. So all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you must work hard and then you relax as well. Very important. But it's hard work that will grant you success. Work hard, pray hard to God to bless all your efforts. If you work hard, pray that God bless my efforts. The little that I've done today, bless it. And you know, God's blessings are very important if you work hard, but don't be lazy. You must work hard and then ask God to bless your efforts. And He always does. He always does. That's what I found out in life, you know. God blesses your efforts. Do things for God as well. You understand? Do things for God. If you are in your church, whatever church it is, or you are a Muslim, try and contribute to that church or to the mosque, whatever they do, no matter how little you can contribute. Like in harvest now, pay your money for harvest, you know. You have to give back something to God. Do something for God. Help others, you know. Give alms. All these things are very, very important. I found that it has helped me in life, you know. God has given me good health. I'm never ill. I've never had an operation in my life. I thank God for that. He has given me good health. The only thing I suffer from is colds. You know, and when I have the cold, I know God is saying, Priscilla, my child, slow down. You are walking to us, slow down. And I slow down. But by and large, my health is very good. Very good. And it is God's grace. It is the grace of God. Everything I've become is the grace of God. First female president of Nigerian-American Chamber of Commerce, first female president of NBA, all the church achievement. I don't want to talk about that one. But I know God blessed all my, for the little things. Any little thing you do for God, He does not forget. I have to tell you, as an, you know, I mean, at my age, well over 70, the experience that I've gotten from God, He does not forget any little thing you do for Him. He always leads you aright.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you very much, Ma. It was nice having you.
Very much. I enjoyed listening to your questions, and I hope it will help some youths to be better children to their parents and good citizens of Nigeria. It's very important. We need the youths to be good citizens, you know, to help Nigeria to develop, because now economically Nigeria is down. So the youths will help us.
Thank you, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.